Live from Los Angeles at the Improv Recording Studio, it's the Nighttime Show podcast with Stephen Kramer Glickman. Our head writer, Matt Walker, is in the house. I'm your announcer, Mike Black. Tonight, our special guest, the director of Patient Killer and Storage Locker 181, star of Tarzan, Starship Troopers, Sleepy Hollow, Mortal Kombat, and the winner of the first ever Webby Award for Best Actor, ladies and gentlemen, Casper Van Dien! Yeah! And now, our host, Stephen Kramer Glickman!
Yes, we're here. We're doing it. Mike, how are you? You look terrific.
I look exactly the same as the last
He looks
time.
out of breath right now,
You look
actually.
exhausted. Are you okay?
I'm fine. I'll be all right.
Too many video games today?
No.
Not
I
enough?
wish that was the case. I had to get ready for this dumbass show.
I
didn't have time for video
apologize.
games.
I'm very sorry.
Mike's just focused. He's looking at Casper because he played Johnny Cage in Mortal Kombat, and he's like, I wish I could just move my hand and see Casper do stuff.
You got caged!
Like, fatality. Come on.
I was thinking how many times I've accidentally killed Johnny Cage
Yes.
trying to fight as him.
Get over here.
I apologize for all the deaths that you've
Yeah,
incurred.
he's not easy, actually. Johnny Cage is not an easy character to play.
No, he's
No,
not.
he's really not. He's a very cool character, and I want to get into this. We got to talk to Casper. Casper, you are looking terrific.
He doesn't age.
He really doesn't. He looks just as damn good as he always damn did. He looks even better.
That's because of my girlfriend. She's pretty hot.
Yeah, sure. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, got to keep it up.
Absolutely. All right. Well, before we get into that, we got to talk about this real quick. This is super, super cool. Okay. All right. No, but okay.
That's amazing.
Let's get into this. Let's get into the real situation here.
That was a lot of fun, though.
Oh
talking
God.
about that.
Listen, Casper. I want to start at the top, and I want to go through.
Best place to stop.
I want to start at the beginning. How did you get into this business? Because people know you from Starship
Wait,
Troopers.
start at
They
the
know you
beginning.
from a lot of
Start at the
amazing
beginning.
stuff.
Did you have a hard time in like junior high
Yes,
with the name Casper?
I had a lot of hard times. In junior high,
Yeah.
it was hard the whole time.
Okay.
I was in junior high.
like the name Casper. Did you
that.
just hear that constantly, or
That didn't make me hard. But I heard that a lot. Yeah, I heard
Really
Casper the
did.
Friendly Ghost. Yeah, that was something else. At first I didn't like it. I didn't embrace it until I was probably 21.
Mhm.
So
Did you have like a nickname that you wanted to be called instead? Like Kaz or something like that?
Never Kaz. No.
Never Kaz.
No, I hate that one.
Spur.
I can't
What about
believe you just said that to
Well,
me.
we're all calling you
I'm gonna-
Kaz from now on.
Hey, listen, I had people call me Cap and Cappy for a while.
Cap?
Okay,
Cap's not
yeah.
bad.
Yeah,
That's
Cap's
a
not-
cool guy name.
Cap
though.
makes you sound like you have rank. Like,
Yeah, I know. Well, I went to
you're the
military
admiral or
school,
something.
so it was kind of
Oh, okay.
easy.
Nice.
But I was operations officer, so I wasn't a captain. I was well, I guess I was.
What does an operations officer do?
Whatever
Yeah.
the fuck he wants to.
Yeah.
Literally,
That's
that's
the
the
right
reason.
answer.
That's the reason why I wanted that job, because you're in charge of putting everybody to bed, waking everybody up, in charge of watches and weekend liberties and week liberties. So I can
So
give,
you're running the hen house.
yeah, I can
basically.
give myself liberty anytime I
Nice.
wanted.
Wow.
Nice.
So and when I got to the military school, I looked around and I went, "What's the best job?" So I go off campus and see the girls and have fun.
Sure.
Yeah, 'cause it was an all guy military school when I went. Now
How old were you?
I was 17.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow. So
I
you
wouldn't
figured
have
it
had
out
it
real
that
fast.
wired.
Oh
I would-
yeah, dude. I looked on that. And I'm like, you can be here. I got in trouble the first weekend, and we had to do push-ups and walk around and march and everything like that. And I said, what do I have to do to never have this happen again? And what do I do? What's the job that gets me out of here? And that was I was only there junior and senior, so the fact that I even got to be operations officer was kind of hard because I was third in command.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the guy that was in charge. It wasn't the other guy that was in charge, but it was the guy that was in charge of all the work details and the liberties. And I could put
Yeah.
myself on a watch and get out of a test so that because your tests were given away. So I was like,
Oh my God, that's so
I was an
smart.
honor
Yeah.
student. I was really smart, but I was only smart because I was trying to beat the system
That's
in every way I
brilliant.
possibly could. Well, that's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
but you know,
if you're
as
gonna do
just
it, you have to
scheme
do
your way through it.
As
That's
opposed to the
nice.
way I did it, which was like fake an injury or sleep and
Right.
get kicked out. That was you
yeah,
did
but
it
that
the,
wasn't
the
gonna
right way.
that wasn't
Yeah.
gonna get you liberty at this school. This school
Exactly.
it's one of the top militaries. It was just ranked #1 military school in the world. They said, but in the
Wow.
country.
how did you
Can
end
you-
up at a military school? Yeah,
I wanted to go.
What
I
was the
wanted-
name of the school? I'm
Admiral
sorry,
Farragut
Mike.
Academy, St. Petersburg, Florida.
It wasn't like you got caught stealing and your parents were like, "That's it, we're sending
No,
you to military school."
I
Like,
chose to go. I wanted
Wow.
to go. I
Wow.
wanted to serve in the military like every other male in my family, but then I decided to become an actor
Yeah,
And then you
but-
or an
served-
actress.
And
then
then-
you served in the military for
Starship
fights
Troopers.
against giant bugs.
Yeah, I
There
get
you
to
go.
kill them
Which is
all.
great.
Yeah.
We all serve in our own way. That's how you
That's
chose
what my
to.
parents. My parents have always said. My dad said to me, and a lot of the men in my family said, the way that you represented the military in the films that you've done was a great service to us.
That's very
Wow.
cool.
Wow.
Which was the most honorable and amazing thing they could say. Now that does nothing to what all of them have done for us
Well,
to be
of
able to do
course,
what we
yeah.
can do here.
Absolutely.
You know, and joke around and have this that I have the most admiration for the people that actually do serve,
So really, everyone in your family prior to you had served.
except for one uncle and myself
Oh wow,
and my son.
that's very cool.
And don't even get me started about him.
Are you gonna let? Would you let him serve if he wanted to serve?
Yes, I would absolutely. It'd be good to straighten his little butt up.
How how old is he?
22 and he's 6'6". So
Get out of
Wow, he's
here.
giant.
yeah,
I thought you were going to say
milkman.
he's like 6. He's 6. He needs to get in there.
6. He needs to get it in shape. Start
Yeah.
hitting it. You don't look like you could have a 22-year-old.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. That's
incredible.
amazing.
Well, and there's a reason why I'm not married to his mother anymore. So
Well, that helps. That helps maybe a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah.
So what is now? I'm curious what the uncle does that didn't serve also.
He's the guy that used to show me Playboy magazines when I was a little
Okay.
kid. He was
So he's that
ki-
uncle.
It's
Okay.
kind of what I thought.
Yeah.
It's,
he played in a band.
the scoundrel uncle.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was so cool.
See, yeah, I knew he was all right. I was like, I have a feeling that dude's all right.
When they originally started Playboy magazine, they offered the first 100 subscribers a lifetime membership to that magazine.
No
and my
shit.
uncle was one of those people. So he had when I was a kid, he had two refrigerator boxes filled with Playboy magazines.
Wow.
Oh my god.
That's great.
That's
However,
fantastic.
And he was like, they're all collectibles and everything like that, except for when I got a hold of them and took out all the centerfold.
Yeah,
and
now they're a
I was
mess.
Oh my
like showing all the
God.
guys and getting that out. And
now
by
is he very depressed about Playboy not having nudity anymore?
I have no idea.
I wouldn't want to
He's
be the
married,
one to
has
break
kids.
it to him.
You know,
That
my
would be rough.
when I was growing up, my uncle who lived in Westwood, he had a subscription to Playboy magazine, and so every time I'd go up to go visit him for like Jewish high holidays and things like this, I'd go into the bathroom where he had them, and I would take one and I'd shove it down the front of my pants in my suit. I'd button my suit, and then I'd awkwardly walk to my mom's car. All right, and I'm like 10, 11 years old doing this, right? So then one year I didn't use his bathroom. I used his daughter's bathroom. My cousin used her bathroom, and I saw there was a Playboy magazine in her bathroom. Didn't think anything of it. Grabbed it, shoved it down my pants. Okay, tighten my pants. Get in my mom's car awkwardly. Go back to San Diego. Middle of the night, I pull out the Playboy magazine, open it up, turn a little flashlight on. Turns out Playgirl magazine.
Yeah.
Oh,
Didn't know what it
Yeah.
was, and I was like flipping through it, and I'm like, what is that's what they're supposed to look like? I was absolutely terrified by the penises in this magazine. It was a terrifying experience.
What has God done to me?
And then I tried to throw it out, and my mom found it in the garbage. You know, it's just she was like, "What? How did this end up in our garbage?"
That's way
it was
worse to
terrible.
have
yeah.
your mom find the Plague
Yeah,
girl
Playboy.
than Playboy. At least it's
Playgirl's
understandable.
way worse for a little. You know, I was a little kid. She was-
Steven, this is terrible. Well, how do you think I feel? I've got the worst penis ever compared to these guys.
These guys got like 14 inches on me. I was like freaking the fuck out. Let's talk about how you got into this business. How did you go from military school into I believe, was it Beyond the Game is the first one? Is that the first gig ever, or are we? Is that
No, that's somebody else. That's not.
That's
I
somebody else.
wasn't even in Beyond. I didn't even know what Beyond
was
the Game
one,
Go,
is.
Steven.
one Life to Live? One Life to Live was the first, or
Well, no,
what was the
the
first?
very first thing I did, I booked a commercial in Florida, And
Oh.
and then I came out here. It was the very first audition I had. I had to sing and dance, and I booked it, and then it was for Midway Airlines, which shortly thereafter got
Went out of
canceled.
business.
Yeah, so I have that great effect on things, I guess. And then I started doing little jobs, and One Life to Live would have been one of my earlier jobs, but the
Maybe
first
like
one
Saved by the Bell or
Saved by the Bell would have been the first, and then Dangerous
God.
Women.
Dangerous Women. Yes, you
Yes.
played Brad Morris in Dangerous Women.
I did.
Oh,
I
yes.
did as often as I could.
Who was on that show? That was oh God.
Who was on
I'm
that
taking,
show?
I'm taking a look.
There was Lynn. She was on the Waltons. Lynn.
But let's go to Saved by the Bell. You got to
Saved-
tell me about Saved by the Bell.
Saved by
This
the
is
Bell. Well, an
outrageous.
interesting thing about Saved by the Bell, I was walking down the Warner Brothers lot. One of my first things, and when I came out here, and I was walking out, and I saw this girl walking up, and she had one green eye and one blue eye, and I went, "Your eyes are amazing!" And it was Elizabeth Berkley. She has two different color eyes.
Wow, I
And
didn't
then
know that.
then later, I met her on. They asked me to go do, because I had gotten on a SAG show, but I hadn't gotten on an after show, and they wanted me to get into an after union. Then it was harder to do that, and they said, if you do some extra work on this, you can get in. I got on that, and she's like, "Hey, I remember you. You're the guy that saw my eyes." Because I just saw her from. She had an impeccable memory. She was so sweet. They were so nice on that show. Had a lot of fun. I did some extra work on that, and I had one line in it. I think I made fun of a heavyset girl.
Back when you could
Yeah.
on television
Yeah.
without a show.
That used to be the norm.
Before
Yeah, that was
that,
normal.
before that would lead to blogs on Jezebel and Huffington
Yeah,
Post.
Right, we didn't have that.
Well,
back
a
then.
90210 is the guy that burned the house down with the lesbians in it. You know,
No.
yeah,
Really?
Yeah, I was not cast as the greatest guy all the time.
Oh my God!
You did a lot of
man.
things right before there was upset for doing those
Yeah.
sorts of things.
Yeah, but I still do.
I
I'm
made
still
it just in time.
I'm
for
still totally politically incorrect. In fact, I'm pretty much an asshole. But at least I'm honest. I'm an honest asshole.
You are an honest asshole.
And I have the most politically correct girlfriend, so it makes it so weird.
Sure. Would you guys fight about stuff like that? Do you guys fight over?
No, she
politically
laughs
correct
at
type
me.
stuff?
And I just sit there. I'm very patient.
What kind of stuff do you get into? What happens that that ends up upsetting the balance? What happens? You got.
Well, I'm from Jersey, so I have a loud fucking mouth. I'm obnoxious and I'm rude, and I'm a son of a bitch.
Right.
And then and if she does anything similar to me, I'm like, "Hey, it's okay, baby, calm down." And then she's like, "You really are like, you have road rage. You're like angry. You're yelling at somebody." And I'm like, "But if I do anything similar like that, instead you take their side." And I'm like, "I ain't taking their side. It's just like I'm being loving and supportive." She'll like actually pet me when I'm in the car, and I feel like instead of being like, really angry and angst, all of a sudden I get like calmed down inside. It's like she's soothing the savage beast.
She knows all the
Yeah,
tricks.
she knows
This
how
is
to
just
do
the back
it.
of my neck. I'm doing the massage thing, but it ain't that kind of thing in the car. I'd be distracted and probably crash,
Yes. Yeah. No,
but
absolutely.
I'd have fun doing it.
I've had a couple of situations with my girlfriend where she literally has said to me, "Please don't embarrass me in public. You're gonna embarrass." We were in Chipotle, very classy restaurant. Chipotle, by the way, great deals on burritos. We're trying to get Chipotle.
Trying to get sponsorship.
Trying to get sponsorship from Chipotle. That's not going to happen.
Their pork is just fine now.
It's
There's nothing to worry about.
Oh no! And we've lost it again.
You're like,
We lost
it ain't gonna
them
happen.
again.
You're
Yeah,
never gonna
no,
get sponsorship
never
from
gonna
Chipotle. You should try a new chain of a
Yeah.
different restaurant.
Yes.
And then
Del Taco,
I
by
was
the way,
at
has
I was at
great
a
burritos.
Shakey's
That
Pizza.
kind of bullshit doesn't happen at El Pollo Loco, I tell you that much.
That's a
All the
deli-
salsa you can eat over there, they don't give a
man.
shit.
Wolfgang
Really?
Pucks.
I was
No,
at-
wait a minute.
We'll pretend it was all at Wolfgang. I was at Wolfgang Puck's the other day. Let me tell you what happened. We're standing there, and she goes, "Oh, there's a friend of mine over there at that table." And I go, "Oh, that's nice." She goes, "Yeah, try not to embarrass me." I go, "What? Why would you say that? Like, we've been together 4 years. You're gonna say that to me? That's so hurtful." She goes, "Steven, she's deaf. Okay." And I go, "What do you think I'm going to do?" Be like, "Nice to meet you. How are you doing? I am also deaf." She goes, "You're doing it right now. She can see your mouth."
She can read that you're being a dick.
And her friends that are sitting with her are not deaf. Like, they can fucking hear you doing a deaf voice. It was in bad taste.
we went out with her friends one of the times. She's like, just try to be politically correct and everything, because she's like very big and all that. And then just try to be like, don't worry, baby, I totally got it. And the thing that happened in Paris, and this girl was French and everything, and one of her people was French. And I walked up and I was like, hey, she's like, they were all, having a little bit of a hard time. And I was like, hey, at least there's more room there right now.
Oh, shit.
I mean, I was just like, and it was only because I was awkward because I can't even say it. It would be totally politically incorrect and she'll get really offended by me. Just right now, she's looking at me like, what are you doing?
Oh, no. Oh. Oh, you guys, you want to repeat that?
We were going to Paris, and then that thing happened, and then I said it right after. I mean, it's like, I think the next day.
Oh, God. Were you offensive at all when you were on Life Goes On? That's what I want to know.
Life Goes On, that was an utter disaster.
Tell me. You got to tell me. Please. Come on.
It was a great show to be on. It was a lot of fun. I was just playing my God, this is amazing. I was playing the captain of the football team.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I can see that.
Yeah, I get that sometimes. And I actually did that once. And for real. And then I was dating Carrie. She was on Days of Our Lives with Patrick Muldoon. He was the girl. Carrie Clark. No.
Wow.
Christy Clark.
Christy Clark.
Yes.
From Days of Our Lives.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I dated her in that show, and they were all. It was just a really nice show, and it was just fun. I mean, it was a long, long time ago.
Yeah. Did you date? Have you dated a lot of actresses or people in the business? Or
I can't remember anybody but the girlfriend I'm dating right now.
No, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. She's the best.
Jennifer Wenger.
She's
Come
great.
on, man.
She's very cool, man. She's the coolest.
She's a reference model for Wonder Woman and super sexy. And I go out and I go to cons sometimes and I do these things. And I had a woman come up to me. She goes, I got your girlfriend tattooed on my leg. And I go, what?
What?
And she was the reference model for the Bombshell Wonder Woman. And so this woman literally has my girlfriend tattooed the Bombshell, the picture of her as the Bombshell. But she even knew that it was her. Came up to me at my table. And I was like, so she didn't come up for my autograph. She came up to tell me about my girlfriend.
Love
I was
it.
like,
That's so awesome.
Come on, man.
Good Lord.
At least get the guy that's stuck in Wonder Woman. Come on, if you're gonna tattoo it on, I'm giving her the salami. You gotta give a little credit to me, all right? I've been tied up with that lasso of truth, and I was like, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, she should get you on the other leg, and then she puts her
There
legs
we go.
together.
Yeah, clap
There
the
we
legs
go.
together.
Mike's thinking.
She might get pregnant.
Oh my God.
Tarzan and Wonder Woman have a baby.
There we go. That's the way to do it. Can we go through? I gotta go. Look, I'm a huge fan of like everything that you've done.
That's impossible because most of it's crap.
No, but I love the crap. Like I love the crap
He
too.
loves
like,
bad movies.
I just went to go.
I'm
see,
the king of them. I'm like Master B movie.
He made me go see Mother's Day with him this weekend.
Okay, I'm not that kind of crap.
Which is
that's a different
biggest
kind of
pile of garbage.
It's the worst movie I think I've ever seen in my life. It's up there.
It's up there.
It's up there in like top 5. It's like top 5.
That's awesome. Now I gotta see it because it's that bad.
It was fun bad though because we sat there, we just made fun of the movie the whole time, which I'm sure annoyed the like 10 women that were in the theater there to watch the movie because there were no guys in there.
Matt, did he show you the text from when he asked me to see Mother's Day with him? Where it was like the first text was just "fuck,"
Yeah, I
and
saw
then
that.
the second one was just that noise. I'm not seeing that shit.
It was
ever.
It was really really bad. My favorite part about that movie though, and this is hands down my favorite part of that movie, is that Julia Roberts, the amazing Julia Roberts,
Who looks great, by the way.
Gorgeous,
Yeah.
is in the movie, and she has a daughter in an actress playing her daughter in the movie, and that daughter has a baby. So Julia Roberts is a grandmother in this movie, and they walk up to Julia Roberts and they hand her the baby to hold. And this is the ugliest fucking baby you've ever seen.
Yes.
It's fat, creepy monster baby with a fucking its face. It's got like Mike Black's head on a baby's body.
So unfair.
Not
to
to
a
be
baby.
mean. No, I'm just saying like a human
It's
man's
hard enough for
head.
me to wield it on my own head.
The head's
You wield
just
it well, my friend. You
wobbling,
wield
it's
it
like
well.
wobbling around on top. It looked like that alien that's like Quaid in Total Recall.
Yes, the original.
Yes.
The original.
The original.
The only.
Yeah.
The good
Really,
Total
come on.
Recall.
Oh yeah, come on, like that one.
There
That
should
one.
not have been another.
No, there shouldn't have been. You got to tell me about. There's a couple sets that you've been on that are impossible that we could ever be on because they're gone. You got to tell us about Beverly Hills 90210 for reals, and you have to tell us about Married with Children because I know that you were on both of these sets. What you got to tell me what they're like.
Amazing sets. the thing about those shows is they're iconic, and they were huge, and there's a reason why. The people on that show were so awesome to be around. Both shows. Now I'll go with Married with Children. You walk on there.
Please.
Ed O'Neill walks up to you. He's like, "Hey, welcome to the set. Have a great time." Kathy comes up to you. She's like, "Hey, have the best time." Christina Applegate they were all like that. Just the greatest show. It was so much fun. I had a blast. I was there. It was interesting. There were so many hot girls on the set that day, in my thing that was in there because Kelly had a lot of her friends. And as you go outside, Michael Keaton's dressing trailer was right there, and he just like had a line of those Beverly Beauties that were in there just going by him.
This is like the Batman era too.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, that's Batman. And he got a lot of girls out there, and
Nice.
he seemed like he was being very generous and kind with all of them.
Yes.
Wow.
Pulling out early like a gentleman. Like, really kind and
opening
nice.
the door to his trailer.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. No, he just, of course they're going to line up there because it was Batman, and he was just awesome. But it was just kind of cool to see, and all these women were out there around it. So I was like, that's the man.
Motivation to keep going in your career.
Yeah, go. Yeah, that was definitely. And then the other set, 90210, you walk on, Jason Priestley walks up to you and goes, "Hey, my name's Jason Priestley. Welcome to the set." I'm like, "I know who the fuck you are." Dude, man, you're so nice. And then the same, Luke come up to you and do the same thing. And they say your name, and you're like sitting there going, "These guys are the nicest guys in the whole world." And I wanted to fucking hate them. But they were so nice. And then Jason was one of my directors, and at the time, my reel, I had his episode that he directed me on my reel.
Jeez.
Because I was giving props to my fellow actor. So
That's very cool.
Yeah, he's a super good guy. I've spoken to him once, and I spoke to Luke Perry one time on that he did Luke Perry did a show with David Milch called John from Cincinnati. It was an HBO show, and I had just worked on Deadwood for a season, so I got to
we should be
meet him,
interviewing
and
you, Deadwood, man. Let's go.
Oh no, I was a cowboy. Like
hey,
I
now
was like
you're talking. Now that's the shit, man.
I was an extra on that show. I got paid $6.50 an hour or something like this.
Did you get to ride a horse?
No, but I got shoulder fucked by a horse, like a shoulder, is that even a term?
Wait a minute.
Now, when you get shoulder fucked by a horse, is it? Did he finish?
Yes. Well,
I mean, come on.
Like your
Yes,
arm?
he did.
yeah, I got like what does that mean? Like I got like shouldered by a horse, like a horse like came up and fucking knocked into me and knocked me into the
That's
dirt.
very
That's not
different
it.
than getting shoulder fucked. by
Yeah,
a
because
horse.
I said,
I
did
don't
he
know.
finish? And you said yes. Well,
Yeah, I'm picturing a giant horse cock in your armpit.
I'm thinking.
Has there ever been?
Like a
has
massive
anyone ever
goo.
been fucked by a
As
horse
opposed
in
to
an
the
armpit?
petite horse
Well, I
cocks.
think they did some like
Of course, it was a giant horse
shows in
cock.
Mexico. They have those.
I love that we've somehow gone into horse shoulder fucking. Like I really, when
Yeah, it's
when
like-
we-
I
It's
love
like gonna
that
be
you're
at your
acting like it's not
bachelor
your
party.
fault that we got into shoulder
it's my
fucking.
fault.
It
I don't
literally
even.
came out of his mouth.
Yeah.
Oh God, I apologize in so many ways.
You're the one who fired the gun for that
I
round.
really, I'm so
You
sorry.
weren't shooting blanks.
I really was. I'm really sorry. That's all right. Okay, here we gotta
Someone
talk
visited the glue factory on the Deadwood set.
about. Oh wow,
Elmer's, yes,
Oh,
or
God.
Jello.
that was rough. I really I make a lot of mistakes as a human being. Matt knows today I made a huge mistake. I'm still recovering from it. My dog peed on the tile in the front of our house when you walk in, and so I was like, ooh, I'm gonna clean this up real quick. And so instead of using like cleaning products, I used Clorox bleach with no water because I didn't realize you have to mix it, and I just spilled Clorox all over the tiles. And then
Piss and Clorox together.
Yeah, and then I was trying to clean up the Clorox and started breathing in all the fumes from it. And I was like, oh, I feel like I'm going to pass out right now. I'm all by myself. I'm just like about to fucking keel over and die. And the fumes in the whole place are just
So you accidentally created a toxin, basically.
basically.
Wait a minute. You have tile floors at your house?
Yeah.
Jeez. Oh,
I know.
that's what I
Fancy
got out of
living.
that story.
Well, we got dogs. We have dogs. They pee and they
Man.
make mistakes. And,
He never invited me over his
I
house.
apologize. All right, you got to talk about.
You don't wanna go to his
what's
house.
the leap like? You got to talk about what is the leap like from being a TV actor who's doing all sorts of fun things on TV and doing movies like James Dean, Race to Destiny, or Casper, A Spirited Beginning, to jumping to fucking Starship Troopers, like one of the most badass movies in history.
I can't go down the street any day since I shot that movie without somebody going Rico or you know what to do or kill them all or some. You know, I was never Johnny Rico before that, but I will be Johnny Rico for the rest of my life for some reason. That movie is so iconic. People are like, I just saw you on TV, and it's always on. And for
Why
me,
do you think that is?
You live as an actor and you live and breathe to do a film where somebody will want to quote you. It's just an amazing feeling. And then when you have a movie that they just quote so many different things, I've never forgotten a line from that movie, not because I have an impeccable memory, but because people shout at me every day different quotes from that movie. And I go, oh, yeah, that was from Starship Troopers. Oh, yeah, that's from... Okay, yeah, I know that's from Starship Troopers. Yes, I do know that's from Starship Troopers. I know it because when the movie airs, my Twitter...
It goes nuts.
My Instagram, my Facebook, I get like, there's days where I've gotten 1,000. I'm like, how come I've got so many? And it's like, oh, everything's a Starship Troopers quote or a picture. Or, they'll put out like memes.
Yeah, memes.
Yeah,
sure.
Memes. I don't even know this. My daughter said there was a meme going around college of, desire to know more intensifies. And it's me and it's shaking. It's like from the drop ship. And then they have Ariana Grande with her boobs shooting out and killing the bugs, the tanker bugs. And
Oh my
they have all
God.
these memes that people send me so many stuff. So Starship Troopers, for some reason, it's amazing. It's amazing to be that. And also, when I did Mortal Kombat, it was interesting. I was not allowed to talk about it. For Warner Brothers said not to talk about me being Johnny Cage. But then one day I was looking on there and somebody goes, "Fucking Johnny Rico is fucking Johnny Cage. Fuck yeah!" And I was,
Wow.
And then I retweeted that because it was already out. You know, I was like, yeah, that was kind of cool.
That's
Now, question.
badass.
So, Starship Troopers, directed by the legendary Paul Verhoeven, who also made RoboCop.
Yes.
So awesome.
So many great movies. What was it like working with somebody? Because he already was sort of well known as being this sort of like very.
RoboCop
sort of-
and Showgirl.
See, he was sort of like a James Cameron type,
Recall.
where he
Yeah.
didn't just make action movies that were action movies. He made action movies that were really good and had social commentary and all kinds of stuff. And then what was it like working with somebody like that? He's sort of like a legendary figure at that point.
Well, I was a big fan of his, even his, Spetter, Soldier of Iron, Orange, his Dutch films. But he is a mad genius. He's always thinking. He's first one on the set. He's always drawing. He's he's a super genius, and he's just super creative, and he's a madman, and he's very dark, sick, and perverted. So it was fucking insane, delicious. You get on there and you read the script and you're like, this is just perverse and wrong, and I can't wait to do this, and I can't believe they're gonna have me do it. And you're in there and you're just thinking, this is just sick. And then when it came out and not everybody got it, you're like, oh, this is even more brilliant.
Did you have any idea what the effects would be like when you're filming this stuff? Or
Well, you look at Phil Tippett, who's from Academy Award winner from Empire Strikes Back, and you're looking at him from the dinosaur movie
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic
Yeah.
Park, and you're looking. He does incredible work. But this movie he got to do for 2 years. He said that he does a lot of the big special effects now and a lot of the big films.
Yeah,
and
sure.
And we just did a panel a couple of years ago where he said the reason why Starship Troopers will never have another one of those is they will not give the time or money and effort to do the details that we did in that. They had dust prints for every bug that hit. They'd have thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of bugs coming, and every single one would have dust going off for each footstep. They had sweat going off. Their eyes were all moving. Every single one. They made sure that it was impeccable. You put it up on the big screen, you can look at that thing, and everything moves. It's not like today where he said that it's cartoony. The audiences will accept the more cartoony thing, like the Hulk looking like a cartoon.
Yeah.
Like,
And they'll think that's real.
You
but
compare that, the way the bugs moved in that, to the Brad Pitt zombie movie.
Yeah,
World War
World
Z.
War recently
World
happened,
War Z.
where it was like they're not even sharing the same light as the set and
No.
stuff like that. It was just, it really is a huge difference.
Everything was so meticulous. They're such perfectionists. Paul Verhoeven is a mad genius, but he's like he's an artist. He's an amazing artist. He is a real, true, honest, great filmmaker, and he doesn't get the credit that is really deserved, except for when you're out in public. I've had Quentin Tarantino. I was out with Ed Neumeier, who wrote RoboCop and Starship Troopers, and he directed the third one with me. But he's a big, amazing, and dark, sick, perverse humor, just like Paul.
Yeah.
And we got cornered at a Scream Awards by Quentin Tarantino, Edgar Wright Jr., Eli Roth, Sam Wan, or James Wan. And Roger Avery,
Wow.
and all of them talked to us for 3 hours saying, why Starship Troopers really was Quentin Tarantino talking, because you don't
Yeah.
really get a conversation if it's
Yeah.
him.
Can't get a word in edgewise. Yeah.
Nobody did. But they all came up and they were talking about how Starship Troopers was their film and the best film, and how they loved Paul Verhoeven and how he was the greatest director. All these match, and I'm just sitting there like this. And Ed Neumeyer said to me afterwards, "Thanks for the greatest night of my life, just hanging out there." Because I took
that's
him.
cool.
Mhm.
I took
Oh,
him with
amazing.
me. So it's surreal, because you have people like that talk about it and how it's their film, and it really is just these guys are super creative, and they really are geniuses. When I say that, their minds are always thinking. So you read a script from them and you go, that's genius. Why don't they make more of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they don't.
Yeah.
They make a lot of shit.
Well, I forgot that Ed Neumeyer wrote both of those, and
Yeah.
it's and they have that same sense of humor, and that it's like just under the surface. Like if you don't know what you're doing, I guess if you're uninitiated and see those movies, you think, God, these are real fucked up. But if you get it, you think, God, these are real fucked up
Yeah.
in the right way,
Yeah.
you know. And they're getting this message across that you wouldn't expect from action movies at all.
Yeah,
Like I took my dad with me to see Starship Troopers, and he's not a sci-fi guy at all. And he was like, these are actual war stories that I remember, but just in this whole other world. He was like, is a lot of science fiction like this? And I was like, yeah, but not quite like this. And he was like, that was really good. You know?
It's the propaganda.
Yeah.
They did the propaganda. They did a lot of.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
There's so many levels on it.
Much like
No,
how
no.
Star Wars is basically a Western
Right,
in
yeah.
space, this
Right.
is a war movie in space. That's
Yeah,
what
Ed
it
exactly.
is.
Neumeyer's favorite director is John Ford, and his
Oh.
favorite actor was John Wayne, which
Yeah,
was
makes
mine
sense.
too.
Totally.
Oh, that makes total sense.
And
yeah.
when we did Starship Troopers 3, he actually had no money for that one at all, compared to the Starship Troopers
Yeah.
where he did. But he made that one, and I was reading the scripts, and I was going, oh, that's from, they wore, she wore a
yellow
yellow
ribbon.
ribbon,
Yeah.
and they were expendable. And so I went through, and I would go back to him, and we'd go over the script, and I go, he goes, you and I, just him and I sat down and talked. So I said, basically, we're making a John Ford film. And he goes, yes.
Yeah.
And you're John Wayne. So that Starship Troopers 3 was that. And then I had 2 interviews by older interview people and the press guys, and they went, so basically you and Ed Neumeyer are big John Ford and John Wayne fans. And in the interview I went, called Ed up. Ed, he got it. He goes, no.
That's great.
No. And we didn't
Wow.
he didn't tell the
That's
studio. We
awesome.
never
Yeah.
told the studio. That was another brilliant thing. So Sony didn't know.
Jeez.
But we literally made a John Ford, John Wayne film. Starship
that
That
is
Troopers
is
3.
so
cool.
badass. That's really amazing.
But you couldn't do the whole thing, but we did a lot. And we
Yeah.
did, there's a time where a guy comes up and goes, General, would you sign my helmet? Because the singing Sky Marshal.
Sure,
so
yeah,
they were
yeah.
expendable. The generals in the military are seen like rock stars.
Yeah.
But John Ford knew this because he had served and he did this. And he made this film, and they were actually, the general would sign their helmets. And so we actually did that in Starship Troopers 3. We had that
God,
thing.
That
That's
is
so
badass.
great. Oh my god.
So see Starship Troopers 3 if you haven't seen it.
Well, you know what? In that one, I feel like he really went over the top and beaten down the head in the sense of humor, because he was so frustrated with Starship Troopers that it didn't get people didn't understand the humor.
Yeah.
But
Well,
and-
yeah, like that the first movie, the first Starship Troopers. I saw it when it was in the theater, and then I watched it about 6 months ago, I think on HBO or on Showtime or something like this. And I was what blew me away a second time from seeing it, more recently, is how intense and how gory that movie gets, and how how brutal that fucking movie is. Like it's so we just don't see things like that right now. They're not making movies like this.
Well,
right
not
now.
only that, but the way it caught like social media before social media.
Oh yeah,
You know, it really caught on to that this is what's next, and be ready for it. You know.
Oh yeah, and I just loved it. Like they'd introduce a character and then they'd chop his arm off, and like
Yeah.
and it was so
I just met that
like
guy.
you just met this guy, and then he's been chopped right in half by an alien, and that the aliens were so scary, and there was something about those bugs that was like actually very, very scary, and like it's really hard to create scary aliens. Like
Yeah.
that like we've seen it done a lot of times, and it doesn't fucking work, and then when it does work, it's it's brilliant. Then you got something like this.
that was so much fun.
No, that's so badass. Were you involved? Like, I know there was a Starship Troopers 2. Was there a 2? There's a 2 and a 3.
I was not in number 2.
You were not in number 2.
I did not do number 2.
Why didn't you want to do number 2?
I did want to do number 2.
Oh, you did.
Who doesn't want to do a number 2?
So he was not asked to be a number
Sometimes
2.
I'm
they're
asked
saying.
to do a number 2.
I would like to do a number 2 every day.
Right.
But
You should try to take
That's what the doctor
if you,
wants.
you should do a number 2 every day.
It's unhealthy to not do a number
If
2.
you
3
don't
times
do
a
it
week is all you
too.
need.
Most of the time. How often, Matt, do you do a number 2?
3 times a week.
3 times a week.
I do at least 3 or 4 times a day.
Oh,
and
my
you can
God.
ask my girlfriend for sure.
Really?
Yes, I am so regular. It's fantastic.
That's incredible. What about you, Mike? How often do you do a sequel?
If I don't do a number 2, I have to do a number 3 within 24 hours.
Oh God, I don't know what a number 3 is, but
Well, you don't want to.
I'm going to stick with 2. But I did a number 3.
so did they not ask you to do a number 2?
They asked me not to do it.
Shut up. Are you
I'm
serious?
telling you the truth.
What?
They did not want me to do it.
I'm writing a letter to Sony.
Well,
So
was it? I don't know if
am
it
I.
was Sony. It's the director wanted to do something different. He didn't want to make total. He wanted.
Okay.
I don't know what he wanted.
And you were busy already. I mean, you.
No, I was totally open. Could have totally done that one, and I was so ready. And this is the other thing. I love
best
Starship.
answer
I
ever.
love Starship Troopers so much. I would have dropped anything to do number 2. Didn't I tell you I like doing number 2?
Oh,
I would have
God.
done that number 2 so bad.
That's so
Even
funny.
worse than they did it.
You know, what's so funny is that like, when it was coming up, like when you were hearing about
My
it,
number 2?
Yeah, the number 2. When you were hearing the number that they were going to do a number 2,
When
I
they were
wish
going to
they'd
do
called
2,
it-
I wanted in on that.
you wanted in on it.
I did. I called them. I said, I want in on number 2.
Ah,
And they said,
shit.
no, leave us alone.
We're going to do our own number 2.
We're going to do
Wow.
We're doing it like scale and nothing. I'm like, I don't care. I'm in. And they're like,
God.
I'm sorry to tell you this. We don't want your 2.
But then you came back
wow.
for 3.
They wanted me for 3.
Yeah, they learned their
Wow.
lesson
Yeah.
after number 2.
Yeah, you
I don't know.
Number 2 took a number 2, and then they were like,
There you
"Oh, we
go.
got to get him back."
And then we did-
you went off and you got to work with Tim Burton on Sleepy Hollow.
I did.
Tell me about this. I mean, that's
Thrill.
this is a big movie. I mean, Christina Ricci, Johnny Depp. I mean, it doesn't get
Christopher
Christopher
Walken.
Walken.
Christopher
yeah.
Walken, terrifying.
Michael Gambon.
Tell me about this movie. What was it like working on that?
Man,
Where did you shoot it?
I shot it all in London,
Oh my
in
gosh.
Shepperton and Leavesden. It was surreal. Ray Park, I shot with him too. He was
What?
Oh,
he
man.
was the guy I did the
Darth
sword.
Maul.
Yeah, he made me half
Yeah.
the man I am today.
What?
Yeah, I didn't lose my head. I got cut in half.
Yeah.
So he
Really?
was
Really?
he
You
was
had a badass death scene in that movie.
and that was just him and I and Johnny Depp. We had no stunt double. That fight we were all in. That was all us. It was great.
Oh
Man.
my God.
I
That's
had-
Now,
amazing.
did you get to
He's
work with
amazing.
any of the old English character actors
I got to work
like
with
Michael
all of them.
Goog and
Yeah, yeah.
Emperor Palpatine
Yeah,
was there?
I was.
you
It
know.
was so awesome. I was like this. I was like, first of all, I'm thinking, all right, I'm a bit of a spaz, total jerk, and an asshole, and I'm an American actor, and I'm self-centered, and I'm not, and I'm not a stage actor. So
Yeah.
and I fuck off all the time, and I have a sense of humor that is really warped, disgusting, and terrible, and horrible, and rude, and not politically correct at all. How am I going to get along with all these Shakespearean actors who are geniuses, and they win like Emmys and Tonys and all that other
BAFTAs and all that
yeah,
stuff.
whatever that English shit is.
Cable Ace Awards.
Yeah, all that crap that I don't fucking understand, because I'm like just from Jersey. So anyhow, I go over there and I'm like trying to think, I'm going to try to put on my game face and be an actor or whatever. They fuck off more than anybody. I have a close up in there where it pulls back from me and I'm supposed to have a line and there's a dead body with its head lopped off, missing head, and all of a sudden Tim Burton goes and action, and it pulls back and I'm about to say my line and the body farts. Michael Gambon, I can see in my peripheral vision, is sitting way over there going, he had his hand in his pocket, so he put a fart machine in the thing. And so just about, he goes, action, and I go like this, I open my mouth up, and he goes, this juicy fart, and I'm like, I took a breath and did my line, because what they do is they'll pull their pants down, they'll shake their dick around.
Oh my
These
God.
great old-time actors. He had one time, another scene where there's the death scene and we're burial and we're at the funeral and I'm sitting next to Christine Ricci and I have my arm around her and Michael Gambon is going to start the speech and Tim Burton says, and get ready and he goes, you're very handsome and my son is gay. You guys would make a great couple. And Tim Burton goes, and action. And then he kissed me full on the mouth.
Holy
and then goes up
shit.
and goes right into the scene. And I'm sitting there like this with my hand on Christina Ricci going, I think I turned Pete red because I've never been kissed by a man before.
Oh my
And
God.
Michael Gambon was my first on-camera kiss or male kiss ever. And I'm like, holy fuck. And then Tim Burton goes, okay, great, we're going to take that one. And I'm like, but they just didn't have that part because they
Now, is Tim Burton
God.
as strange as we assume he is?
He's the funniest, sweetest, kindest man ever. Now, Paul Verhoeven, you're on his seat. He's I love Paul to death. He's the one, but he's a screamer. He's like, yell at everything. Tim Burton, okay, cool. Moving on. Great. Just cool, relaxed, but both of them are geniuses. They both draw. They're both smart. They both have the best teams. They both have everybody running around it. One's loud and one's quiet.
Wow.
But Tim didn't really have to be that way because we had Scott Rudin as the producer.
Oh,
Okay, so he took care of the
Jesus.
yelling
All right,
for
there you
him.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah. He does all the yelling.
That guy handles everything, and he makes great pictures.
Yeah,
so
he's
he
a
knows
badass.
you don't fuck with him.
Yeah, no way. What was Christina like?
She was the sweetest girl to me. She was so kind and great, and she was young and cute. There's a fun thing that happened with me on that one. I was telling my dad, "Hey, you got Sleepy Hollow." He goes, "Great. Who you playing?" I'm playing Bram Van Buren, and he goes, "Oh, cool." And I'm like, "Yeah." And Christine Ricci's playing Katrina Van Tassel, and Johnny, and he's like, "Wait a minute, she's playing Katrina Van Tassel?" And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "You know that's your cousin." The Van Diens and the Van Tassels in real life are cousins. And he's like,
what?
Really?
He's like, "So you're gonna be kissing your cousin?" And I'm like, No, Dad, she's an
She's not
actor.
actually my
She's
cousin.
not.
Yeah.
They didn't
You know,
fly one of our cousins
Yeah,
in.
but okay.
You know, careers do like such interesting things, and you end up, like
And I end up on this show.
you end up.
Yeah.
no, I know.
Thanks a lot.
I know.
Yeah,
But
that's what
you-
happens.
you
Number
know-
2.
Number 2, you watch.
You were once on set with Christopher Walken, and now you're here.
Yes, no, I'm here.
You're here
Thanks
with
for
us.
reminding me.
No,
I'm
but you-
so depressed. I'm
like-
gonna go shoot myself in the head.
Your like history of movies and television and film, like you've done so much work and you've been in so many different things. There's a movie that you did with Coolio.
Yes.
All right. How many people can say they did a movie with Coolio? Not very many people.
He had a lot of fun on that one. His character was smoking pot.
I like that you say he had a lot of fun. on
Yeah.
it.
His character was smoking pot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, man.
In space.
In space. You know what though? When this movie came out, when you made Dracula 3000, okay, in 2004, I believe I was working at Blockbuster Video at the time, hawking this movie to customers and telling them, "You better watch this movie. Coolio's in it." All right. So I mean, this is like you've made a lot of
Was
interesting-
Coolio Dracula?
No, Coolio was not.
He became one of them. But
yeah.
okay.
they had,
He
you know,
played a character called 187.
yeah, and he was smoking 187, whatever it was. And the other thing that was cool about it is that director, Dale Root, did Cry the Beloved Country, and he did amazing
Oh,
films.
wow.
But right after that, he won an Academy Award for the next film he did. So he did.
What was the next one?
I forget. It's a film, and I call him up. I'm like, "Why did you do that?" He goes, "Could you have played a pregnant African Zulu woman with AIDS?" And I go, "Shh."
You got range.
Yeah, a movie called Yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Daryl Root. Wow.
That's the
amazing.
very next. So right after he finished that one, which he called me up and begged me, "Casper, come do this film in South Africa."
You were
with
Van
me."
Helsing.
I was.
Yes, you were.
Come be this film. We're gonna have. I always wanted to make a vampire movie, and I wanted to work with you, and let's do this. And his very next film, he wins an Academy Award, and I'm like, "Dude, seriously, Dracula 3000."
Dude, you had some.
seriously?
Dude, you had Udo Kier.
Udo Kier was
Udo
in it.
Kier, yeah.
Udo Kier. God, that guy's super intense.
guy's
Well, we were in
Awesome.
Modern Vampires together too. Udo Kier and I
What?
were. Yeah, Modern
With,
Vampires. So was
Natasha Gregson Wagner.
Natasha Gregson Webber and Craig Ferguson and
No way.
and
Good
Natasha
cast.
Lyonne and
What?
Robert Patterson and Tank and from oh God, I'm forgetting her name, and she's on that Sex and the City, and she was in what? Kim Cattrall.
Kim
Cattrall,
Cattrall, yes.
Holy shit.
It was a big cast in that movie. I remember when it came on cable, I was like, this movie's fucking
Well,
great.
interesting enough, that movie was directed by Rick Elfman, Danny Elfman's brother.
Oh, okay.
And then when I did that movie, everybody said, "You making the biggest mistake. You're not gonna. I can't believe you did that movie. It's as big as my agents and everything like that." Right afterwards, Tim Burton hired me on Sleepy Hollow because
Nice.
he saw that film.
Because it's his composer's brother, so he's going to want
Hello.
Yeah, of
Hey,
course.
so
Of
everybody
course he's gonna
knows
go.
this business so well, and then
Yeah.
you do something like that. And I had so much fun on that. Rick Elfman is a great guy. He's like, "I want you to be Dallas." He still owns the Mustang that I drove in that.
Nice.
Oh my
Now, can we ask you a
God.
couple personal questions? I want to get off the career for a
Yeah,
minute.
let's get off the career.
So, obviously,
I did too. I got off the career too, so I'm right there with you guys.
now you got married at a fairly young age.
Twice.
So how young were you when you got married the first time?
The first time I was 24 years old.
Wow, and how long did that one last?
4.5 years.
Okay, and then you married a princess.
I did. Well, she's not technically a princess because her
The
mother.
country isn't exist anymore, but
Yeah, but her mother was a princess of it, but also the lineage isn't handed down to the females.
Oh.
It's only handed down if her.
so you didn't get to become a prince or anything. Was
No, no.
I mean, you have the face for it and
Yeah.
the hair.
You look like Prince
You
Charming.
could be a prince.
I could be, but
Have you ever played a prince?
Have you ever played Prince?
I haven't.
They're probably going to make a Prince movie. You could be Prince.
I played his music. Formally once.
I'm starting a Prince cover band. Do you want to be in it?
Yes, of course I do.
Perfect.
Who doesn't?
I want to be Morris Day in your Prince cover.
Is it too soon to do that though? Is it too soon?
No, there's
Probably-
nothing wrong with
it's
a
cashing
Prince.
in though, isn't it?
Yeah,
Um,
I'll be Prince Goldstein.
Yes.
And then it's just a different kind of Prince.
Yeah, and then that one didn't work out either. But I was married for 17 years.
Whoa.
I was.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a good try, at least. You know,
Yeah,
if it didn't
was
work
a
out,
good try.
17
We
years.
have good kids, so I was grateful for that.
Were you guys? Was she in the business at all, or not in
Catherine
the
Yes.
business?
was. Yeah, she was on
Huge star.
Dynasty.
She was on Acapulco Heat,
Oh my God!
which I used to watch with
Acapulco
Fabio.
Heat
With your buddy
Fabio. With Fabio?
That's
Get
the
outta
show.
here.
Fabio bought my house once.
That's
No
the
way.
show. Remember, Fabio told us a story. We
He's
went
a
to
dear
dinner.
friend of ours.
I mentioned that show to Fabio, and he was on the first season of that show, and he left halfway through because he said that the place they stayed in Acapulco, they couldn't get his breakfast order right, and he's like, "That's it, I quit. I'm leaving," because they
said,
couldn't get his omelet right every
Casper,
morning,
I'm not gonna do the show no more.
and he just left.
Like,
Yeah.
Okay, I can't do it. They won't get the scrambled egg right. I tell them I need the 2 eggs scrambled. They bring a 3. If Fabio can eat 3, it's a waste. It's a waste, Casper.
That's exactly how he talks.
It's
Yeah.
really
It's
yeah.
disturbing.
We're
Yeah.
big fans of Fabio.
Yeah, we've spent a lot of time with him. It's been very
When
uncomfortable.
when I sold my house in Tarzana to him,
Mhm.
I sold it to him, and I said to him, I left him a message. My safes. I wrote, Fabio. The code is butter.
I don't know if I believe this code.
I changed the code to butter. So like
And
I
then he,
said,
like, it would be great if then he tries to put
I
it in.
can't believe it's not.
the butter.
No, it is butter. It is butter.
I can't believe it's butter.
And I
it's
changed
butter
both
now.
safes to butter. So there was 2 safes in that house, and I changed both of them to butter. And I just put that down because I just wanted to.
Oh my
Well, now
God,
I,
that's so
I have
great.
to ask off of that. Did you have the house in Tarzana while you were Tarzan?
I bought the house in Tarzana specifically because I was Tarzan.
Yes!
I am that geek. I am that.
love that.
I love it. I am the 20th
That is
Tarzan, and
fantastic.
I fucking love it because I still have kids come up to me and go, Mr. Tarzan, or anything like that. I was given an award 3 years ago by the Edgar Rice Burroughs Estate at the Dum Dum Awards, which is in the novel. It's you have to read it.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
Okay.
but they have this award, and in front of 2 other Tarzans and 500 people and my family at the time, I was given an award for the Golden Lion Award for my portrayal of Tarzan being the closest written to the book. And Jane Goodall was the one that gave me the award.
Wow, you got to meet Jane Goodall.
That's crazy.
I got a picture of her
incredible.
with me with a Golden Lion Award.
Holy
And
Damn.
and the thing that was awesome is that movie tanked. But I still got that award
Yes.
14 years later. You know, I was like, yes, finally acknowledgement. But this film looks more like the film that was originally written that I was going to do. The one that the new Tarzan that's coming. So excited to see it.
Yeah, you're like, suck it, Johnny Weissmuller.
That
Yeah,
looks, that
I
looks like
love
it's gonna
Johnny
be
Weissmuller.
pretty. It's gonna be pretty tight. That looks like a pretty tight movie.
It does look cool to me.
There was an article that recently came out, and I don't want to misquote this article, but
Go ahead.
It was a big article about you and your financial standing and how.
Oh yeah, that's huge.
That's a huge article. What was the title of this article?
I can't remember. It's like
Jen, Jen, do you have the article?
Casper Van Dien.
All right, so Casper, this is an article that came out like earlier this week.
Yes.
And this is kind of a big deal, and I want to talk to you about it because I find this kind of stuff fascinating. The article is from it was published again and again and again and again from originally from a magazine called People with Money. The name of the article is Casper Van Dien, highest paid actor in the world.
Doesn't get much better than that.
That sounds that's amazing.
Yeah, but
Matt,
you got to keep
Matt,
reading.
Will you take a read through this for everybody? There you go.
I got it.
All right, you got it? Please.
So, it's been a rough year for the actor, but at least he has his millions of dollars to ease the pain. 47-year-old, you're 47? You look fantastic.
You're very kind.
47-year-old Casper Van Dien has taken the #1 spot on People with Money's top 10 highest paid actors for 2016 with an estimated $46 million in combined earnings.
Outrageous.
Then, update, May 6, 2016, this story seems to be false.
Yes.
Oh.
You got to read that part.
Is that?
You got to read. Yeah, you got to read that part.
Really?
If you click on that, it becomes even more interesting. But first, you should skip that and then go down to the next one.
I'll skip that. So yes, highest paid actor in the world. Casper Van Dien tops annual list of highest paid actors. In 2013, it looked like the actor's spectacular career was winding down. Suddenly, he was back on top. People with Money reports on Thursday, May 5th, that Van Dien is the highest paid actor in the world, pulling in an astonishing $46 million between April 2015 and April 2016, a nearly $20 million lead over his closest competition. In compiling this yearly list, the magazine considers factors such as upfront pay, profit participation, residuals, endorsements, and advertising work. The American actor has an estimated net worth of $145 million.
Damn, that's crazy.
He owes his fortune to smart stock investments, substantial property holdings, lucrative endorsement deals with CoverGirl Cosmetics.
Oh, shit.
How do you think I look so young?
He also owns several restaurants, the Fat Van Dien Burger chain in Washington, a football team, the Milton Angels, has launched his own brand of vodka, Pure Wonder Van Dien.
Whoa!
And is tackling the juniors market with the top-selling perfume, With Love from Casper.
Oh, shit.
And a fashion line called Casper Van Dien
Seduction.
Dude.
So we're all getting a gift bag after this, right?
Yeah.
The Van
Our
Dien
new best
vodka.
friend. The ranking is significant for many Casper fans who've been waiting for his triumphant return to the glory days for what seems like a lifetime.
Wow. So I clicked on the link. And
Did you see the nudes of me? You got to look at the nudes.
God, gorgeous. I mean, just the penis size on this guy, you wouldn't believe.
No, and that puppy?
And the puppy.
It's believable.
It's really terrific stuff.
I love when this came out because you know what? On my social media right now, somebody tweeted to me. I can't tell you who it was. Somebody tweeted this, like, congratulations. I haven't spoken to him in a long time. Tweeted to me and sent me this article, and I just put a winky face because I read the whole thing. I read the red. And a lot of people didn't.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't read the red. And they're all going like, oh my God, congratulations, or I know Casper, or he's a great guy, and my girlfriend's like, you got to tell them at least that it's not true.
Are they like?
and I go, nope, I'm not going to tell.
Are they
soul.
saying, Casper,
Nope.
Can you send your private jet to pick me up and fly
I had
me out
people
there?
say that.
People
but
asking you to hook them up?
People that knew it was a joke said that, but a lot of people were just like, oh my God, he's the sweetest guy, he's the nicest guy. She goes, you're going to let them know? You're not going to let them know that it's fake? I go, it's funny. And it's like Andy Kaufman funny. She's like, yeah, but you're being a real, and I go, yeah, I know. I love it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they went in. I retweeted all of them. I retweeted my nudes.
So great.
Dude, I love it. And I retweeted
love
my
it.
death hoax. They're like, oh man.
Wait, did you say you loved his nudes, Steven?
I love his nudes.
Okay.
Did you
No,
look at the
I-
nudes? You should
I
look
didn't
at-
see him.
They're terrific nudes.
You gotta see
Really
the nudes.
great stuff.
Seriously, these are nudes.
Playgirl style.
No. These are better than that. They're better. These are classic ones.
Very classy.
Like Burt Reynolds?
No, beyond that, way back. You gotta go way back to Stone Age time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're like Louvre quality.
Real terrific stuff.
Cave paintings.
You
of
gotta
Casper
see.
Van
You
Dien.
gotta
Not that
see
bad.
you gotta see the nuts on this guy. Just unreal.
I think they blacked that out.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then there is one with a puppy and a ball.
Okay.
Matt's getting very uncomfortable. It's fun to watch.
You guys saw Starship Troopers, so you've all seen me naked anyhow.
That's
so it's
right.
all right.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah, we've all seen
those
it.
To
are
be
the-
fair, I wasn't
those are my
focusing on you,
nudes.
but
Oh. Oh, yes. Okay.
So
Now he's looking at my nudes.
Not bad, right, Matt?
Look harder, Matt.
He
Look
looks
harder
different
at the
than
nudes.
I pictured.
Matt, put your penis back in your pants. What's happening right now? What?
You're gonna get horse fucked again.
You're gonna get shoulder fucked.
It would
by a
be
horse.
impossible for Matt to be
No
redder
way.
than he is right now. Matt has gone nuclear red.
He's turning like your
blending into the
like
curtain.
your Michael Jackson jacket there.
It's like watching The Predator. He's like he's
It's like
blending into the environment behind him.
Oh God, that's amazing. So tell us what's happening next for you. What's going on right now?
You know, besides my fat burger and my
Yes.
Yeah.
Besides
please.
your world domination.
my world domination, I'm taking it one chick at a time. I only
that got a
got
bad
one
look.
chick. Yeah, I just want to see if she's still paying attention. What am I
Wonder
doing now?
Woman didn't care for that shit at all.
Oh my God, she would tie me up later. And
Now,
I
were
would
you
like it.
single for quite a while after being married, or?
When we were separated for 2.5 years,
Mhm.
and Jenny's the first girl I asked out, and I waited until I filed on until my ex-wife was down in Mexico with somebody. I waited, and then I asked Jenny out, and she said only if it wouldn't hurt your daughters. I
Wow.
said, I'm totally-
Wow,
I'm
that's
totally
really
clean.
cool.
Yeah, because she had met them 4 years before, and it's actually one of the sweetest things. She had met my daughters on a set. I did a movie with her called Sharktopus versus Werewolf,
Mhm.
What?
a Roger Corman movie. I did that, but
My friends don't tell me shit. I didn't know this movie existed, or I'd have been all over it.
it is so funny. I was drunk the whole time. My character was.
Right.
And I met her. My family's down there with me, and my ex-wife was in the scene with Jenny, and they were doing a scene. And I met her once. I said hey to her, and I said to her, I went up to her one time, hey, who are our daughters playing with? They were 8 and 10 at the time, and she said, oh, don't worry, she's a really sweet girl and everything like that. I never really talked to her. I
Wow.
saw her on the set. I worked. I didn't have any scenes with her. You know, I took one picture with her because she was all bloodied up one day, and I thought it was funny.
Mhm.
And I never saw her again. And then we're promoting the movie at Comic-Con last year, and I've been separated from my wife for 2 years. And she walks up to me. She's like, hey, we were supposed to promote the movie and say things, and we're talking. And she's like, hey, it's so great to see you. You really inspired me. You're the first actor, married or not, on a set that didn't hit on me. Like, even when your wife went away, you didn't hit on me. And first of all, I'm just going, phew. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And then second of all, she said, it was really sweet. She goes, and so how are the wife and kids? And I said, actually, I'm separated, getting a divorce. And she goes, oh, I'm so sorry. Da, 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 da. And then I was just thinking, wow, this girl's really sweet. And then 3 months later, I filed for divorce. And I went, I think my friends were all like, you need to go out, you need to go. I'm like, I'm going to ask this girl out. And I asked her out, and she said that to me. And she's the only girl I've seen. And I don't want to see anybody else. I'm
Wow.
having the time of my life. It's the best thing that ever happened to me.
That's so awesome.
Wow.
I'm so
now,
happy for you.
between your two marriages, was there like a run of just every hot chick in Hollywood for a while?
Absolutely.
Of course not.
Not,
man.
What kind of young man do you think I was then?
Only a real asshole would do something like that, man.
I was not that kind of guy for that period of time while I was all over.
You know what? We should bring her in. She's sitting here. Jen, would you be more would you guys come grab a seat and come on in?
Oh, look at right
or
here.
you know what? You can turn the.
Oh, look at that.
If
Oh,
you-
look at there's those.
You guys can talk to
Oh,
the same
right
mic.
here,
That-
microphone right there.
That works.
There we go.
Or yeah, you can sit there and chat with the.
Oh, she doesn't have headphones though, so
She can hear us
Yeah,
talk.
we
We're
sound
just gonna
great.
patch you in. There we go. Hey, Jen.
Hey,
How's it going? What's up,
good.
Wonder Woman?
Jennifer
I-
Ray.
everything's great. I'm so happy that two of my favorite men are sitting together right now.
Oh,
Thank
you're
you.
so sweet.
What?
Thank you. I appreciate it. That's great.
What the heck?
Mike and I really appreciate that.
What?
Yeah, that's cool.
We didn't know you thought about us that way. That's
Chopped
great.
liver.
I can't believe this.
You guys will be two of my favorite guys.
That's
You gotta
right.
hang- Me and Steven go
Absolutely.
way back.
Me and Jen have known each other for a long
a long time. 12
Yeah.
years.
Something
Yeah,
like that.
I actually
12
I was gonna cancel the show, and she goes, "You can't do that to him. I love him."
Oh,
No, well, we were
thanks.
moving and we got a house.
Oh,
and
I
we're
know.
Moving
Oh
into
my
our new
God.
house.
That's
together
Congratulations.
today.
Thank you.
Where
Today.
Mazel tov.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, I did make the joke. I wouldn't have cut out.
No,
on
but
it.
No, I know.
But
our
she's
hot
like, "You
water
can't-"
wasn't working, and he's like, "I can't shower. Maybe I can't go." And I'm like, "You will go dirty."
Yeah,
That's
she
so
did say
sweet
that,
of you.
and
Thank
But
you.
I love him.
and I took a cold shower.
Oh,
did a freezing cold shower. It was so
Casper,
cold.
thank you so much
Wow,
for doing
thank
that
you.
for us. That's amazing.
Well, I had to because I smelled so bad, so I had to do that. So. But it's my pleasure.
He
No,
was thinking
that's
about
really
Stephen
cool.
Glickman. He's like, I got to take a cold shower now.
Cold
Yeah.
shower.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm just
That
the
was-
sexiest.
That's
person
why I
in
was
the
smelling so
world.
bad.
Aren't you glad you're here now? Matt
I'm
got
always-
to see your nudes.
Yes.
It worked out for everybody.
We talked about number 2s. It's really working out. It's
Classy.
really.
You got horse fucked.
I got a horse fucked. A lot of things happened in this episode.
Not Mr. Hands anymore. It's Mr. Shoulders.
Head,
you know-
head and shoulders. Yes, horse fucked. Head and shoulders.
Do you
it's
know-
great shampoo.
Casper, can I know I don't want to jump to like the worst thing ever, but it is really funny to me is
Worst thing ever.
Mike, so Jen a long time ago was in a documentary called Confessions of a Superhero. Is that
yes,
right? Okay.
that is
So-
right.
Good movie.
Oh, yeah.
It was a great
Thank you,
movie,
guys.
and it came out. I was working at Hollywood Video at the time when that movie.
I
came
remember
out.
Hollywood Video.
And you know what? I just found my Hollywood Video T-shirt.
I had my Hollywood
shirt.
Video card the other day. I think I just threw it out.
No way! That's so crazy. I liked that place because they
I
had
did too.
a wider
Obscure.
selection.
They
Very
did-
interesting
you could
selection.
get different films that you couldn't get like in
Oh, yeah.
like they do
Blockbuster.
blockbusters.
I know. You know what? They sell the Hollywood Video, just the Hollywood sign from the Hollywood Video at on La Brea at that weird shop.
Oh yeah,
And
I've seen it there.
I fucking want one so bad,
do
and they're
too.
expensive. But I'm gonna buy one someday because I
Someday.
freaking love those things. Anyways, yeah. So in the documentary, you were dressing up as Wonder Woman and hanging out, and taking pictures with fans and stuff at Grauman's Chinese, which is like
Yeah.
one of the most classic things. I know you don't do that anymore, but that was
No.
like a huge thing. At
There
that
were under
time.
10 of us back then, and then when we did the documentary, everybody's like, "They're making money doing this. I'm gonna do this too." And then everybody came out. So a lot of the original characters were kind of mad at us for
being
doing
in
that
that?
because they're like, "Thanks a lot. I went from making $100 an hour to $20 an hour." But it's like
Yeah.
that's still pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in the movie, and this is a fact, Mike. In the movie, she is married at the time,
Yes.
right, to a guy, and then he's kind of an asshole, right?
Yeah.
And then they separate, they divorce
Beyond
in the
an
movie.
asshole.
Giant asshole, right?
Yeah.
So I saw that documentary before I knew her and before I
Uh-huh.
came up to LA to start doing stand up and stuff. I come up here, I get in the business, and then I meet her, and immediately I'm like, yeah, you know what? She's so fucking cool. I'm like, and her ex, such a piece of shit, right? What a piece of
Right.
shit. So then I meet him. Okay, it's Undateable star Brent Morin.
No,
Okay, no, but no,
Oh.
it's not. But for almost 10 years,
You think it's
I thought
think
Brent Morin
Oh
from
my God, that's
Undateable
amazing.
is her ex-husband. So
So
every
you're
time
an
I'd see him,
actor.
he'd be like, "Hey, what's up, man?" I'd be like, "Fuck you, Brent Morin," for like 10 years. And then for 10 years, I'm like, this fucking asshole who screwed over my friend.
When I meet
in
him,
a
I'm gonna say
movie.
that.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck you.
Fuck you, Brent
Brent
Morin, you
Morin.
piece of shit.
He
And
actually
Morin.
saw Brent Morin have a meltdown at the Comedy Store because he's friends with Judah Friedlander and he was headlining.
Oh my God.
And Brent came in and he had gotten drunk at their holiday show and broken up with his girlfriend and like had this weird rant on stage.
Oh, no.
And we were all sitting there like, are
Yeah,
we
I saw him.
supposed to hear this?
But when I meet him, I'm like, fuck you.
Oh my God.
First you were drunk,
First
and
of
then
all,
you got dumped.
Brent
and
Morin.
Then you were like, look like my girlfriend's ex-husband to Stephen Glickman, man.
By the way, Brent Morin is an incredibly nice guy. That's like super, super sweet. Great dude.
It's
Yeah.
great that for a
but I-
decade he's like, what the
For
fuck
10 years, I
do
was like,
to
fuck
Stephen
this guy.
Glickman?
And then I told Jen, I was like, by the way, I saw Brent Morin earlier tonight. And I was like,
okay.
fuck off, dude. And she was like, why did you say that to him? I was like,
I don't
because
understand.
he's your ex-husband. And she was like, no, he's not. And I was like, he's not? What do you mean he's not? Like, that's the guy from the documentary. She's like, that's not at all who that person is. It's a totally different. And I never checked it. I never bothered to look. And that's 100% true.
My
And now-
ex-husband is a stand-up comedian who is 0% as successful as Brent Morin. He actually stole $8,000 from me, and after I was like, "Are you gonna like?" It wasn't like stealing because he paid off his credit card debt while we were married with my money.
Oh,
when he found out that
sure.
I wanted to kind of separate, and then I'm like, "Well, do you want to start trying to pay me back a little?" I said, "It's fine if it's even $50 a month." He's like, "You will never see that money again."
Wow.
I'm
Fuck you, Brent.
Yeah. Damn it.
What do you pay
Morin.
back? You got all that sitcom money. What even pay
Yeah,
her back?
Brent
What do you
Morin.
pay?
Fuck, pay her back already.
That was all of my savings. And
That's the
he's-
kind of shit
Oh.
like a real villain says, like
Yeah,
in a
you will
movie.
never.
You will never see that money again.
Yeah.
I married one
He
of
should
those
go
ones.
be a supervillain on Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah,
Seriously.
he
Lex
works in
Luthor.
casting, so he's
Lex
kind of one.
Oh, gross. The worst. What's going on with you these days, my dear? What's happening with you?
My web series actually won Best Web Series
Yeah.
at the Geekies this year. Superpower Beatdown, where we take two legends and we make them battle.
Oh, that's
You-
a cool show. I've
You
seen
just
that,
let
yeah.
me do that
Thanks.
show. You let me do that show.
You were on there
I was
with
on
me,
it. It was
and you
super
know we
cool.
just won because of your appearance.
I know. Well, no. I always.
Who were you
No,
on?
So
no,
he
no,
was
no, no.
clearly
He-
Bigfoot.
I was
me
just a
and him did the
guest. I was
debate
just a
together.
guest.
You weren't
I was a
Kingpin?
debate. No, I want to be Kingpin.
You weren't the
Were you
Blob?
Bigfoot?
Oh, that would be
Bison?
great.
The
King
Blob.
You
Kong.
weren't Galactus?
We were
I
we were
would
on
totally
Team
keep
Deadpool.
going.
We
Who
were on
else?
Team
The
Deadpool
Penguin.
together.
Yeah, the
we
penguin.
both at the
Team
same
Deadpool. We were
Yeah,
Team Deadpool.
it was Deadpool
together.
against
Yeah, I saw
Batman?
it. I saw
Batman
that.
versus Deadpool. That was such a
Like,
badass one.
it
That was
was.
great.
And
I
they
know.
just keep getting
I
better.
just watched Optimus Prime versus
Iron
Iron
Man.
Man, which was amazing.
Oh, who
It was
won
our
that?
first animated
Can't tell
battle.
you. You gotta watch it.
Oh, good.
Fully
Good
animated.
call. Good call.
You
Looks
gotta watch it.
amazing.
Gotta watch it.
Stephen,
see.
were you Krang from Teenage Mutant Ninja
Oh,
Turtles?
Jesus. Thanks, buddy. Good one. That was really good. I
So
appreciate
yeah,
that.
our latest episode just came out. So that's the most recent thing that I did.
That's so awesome. I'm so happy for you.
That's
That
great.
is
And last
such a
year,
badass.
And,
I
and
played a
tell them
deep-
what else you're doing.
Casper Van Dien.
Yeah! oh, yeah! That's my. Oh, wow!
I feel like you guys work on that at home.
We do.
We
We
work
do.
on that at home.
Oh,
and in the car.
yeah.
And on the.
Yeah. When he was doing
in
the carping,
beach.
and he was like, "Well, we don't do that in the car." And I'm like, "Yes, we did."
Oh.
Driving
Oh.
over Canaan.
Oh man, that's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking
I'm
about.
so happy for you guys.
Oh, dude, I'm having the time of my life. I don't know why I tried to make my marriage work for so long. Boy, it was a mistake. It's like everybody's like, "Why are you doing that?" I'm like, "I'm trying to be a man, trying to do the honorable thing, trying to be the right thing." And my ex-wife was like she's like going, "I don't love you. I don't want to be married to you." And I'm like, "We have kids. I don't love you. I don't want to be, but we should do it for the kids. You know, you should just take a glow. When somebody says they don't love you and don't want to be with you, you should just be like, okay."
Yeah, because
You know, like-
because
Because
right around the
somebody else
corner.
does.
Yeah, somebody else does.
And that
Right
was
around
kind
the
of,
corner.
uh,
It
is
took
someone
me
much better.
2.5 years of I was not doing, and we had been
Yeah.
struggling before that, so it was like really weird. So
And that
you-
was kind of a May December type thing, right? She was a lot older than you.
yeah. She's 7 years, 3 months older than me.
Wow.
When you,
You know, I was raped when I was young by a woman.
Oh, God, here we go.
I was 8 years old and she was 18. I was raped by her, and we did everything.
Wait, are you being
It
serious?
totally, she like initiated me. But yeah, totally serious. It's a terrible, horrible thing. If it happened to one of my kids, yeah, it
He
was
was
terrible.
incredibly handsome as an 8-year-old, is what he's
I
saying.
was totally, yeah. Well, I
Always.
have these
Oh.
pictures of me from when before
he
I
had
was
a lot
8.
of game back then.
I did. I got a lot of game that day. One day, I got a lot of game.
Holy
I did everything
shit.
you should do with a woman when you're in your 30s or 40s. Not even when you're in your 20s. I
That's
did things
crazy.
like
That's
Wow.
insane.
in one day. And so that kind of like made me go after older women. So both my ex-wives were older than me. Jenny's the first younger girl I've gone out with, and
Oh man.
and I feel like more of a man with her than I've ever felt with any woman. So
that's that's incredible, man. I'm
So-
so happy that it's all worked out for you.
me
That's,
too.
uh,
Me too.
That's
yeah.
a big deal.
Well,
That's a big
you
deal.
work on yourself. You know, I'm 21 years sober. I do a lot of work on myself. I'm
Do you ever
always
do? You ever do? We were just talking. Me and Matt were talking about this on the drive here about therapy. You ever do a therapy thing? You
I
ever
did
see
too
a
much
guy?
therapy, and it's just
Ugh.
ridiculous. Some of it's just ridiculous. It's like grow a pair.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
you
no,
know,
you,
you know,
I got,
like,
no.
you
You,
know.
you would love this. There's a therapist. I was seeing a therapist every, not every week, but like every 2 weeks. I'd go see a
I
guy.
did one every week.
All right, yeah, you go, you talk, and you talk about things. One time he turned to me and he said, hey, we were talking about my girlfriend, and I go, you want to see a picture of her? He goes, sure. And I pull out, I go, this is her, and it was a picture of Queen Latifah. And he was like, why are you showing? Are you seriously dating Queen Latifah? And I was like, no, I'm just messing around. He was like, you pay me for this, right? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get the laughs out of it I can. I'm trying to have a good time here.
That's amazing.
One time
We should just talk, you and I, and we don't have to go to therapy anymore. 'cause
Oh,
we can just
yeah.
do the same thing. It's ridiculous.
No, I was paying so much money to go to this guy, and then one day I call up to go, and he goes, you know what? We actually closed up the shop. I closed up
retired.
shop. I'm
Yeah.
retired. Yeah, I'm not doing it anymore. And I was like, you're retired? What do you mean you're retired? He goes, I'm not. I quit. I quit doing it. So I'm not. I'm very sorry. Yeah, no, we've closed up. I'm not doing the therapy stuff anymore. And I was like, oh, you know all my secrets. Like you're out in the world. And he was like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Right? Gets off the phone with me. I'm like, well, what the fuck is that about? 2 months later, I'm driving by his office. I see him come out of his office. He didn't quit. He just quit me. Like
Wow.
There-
he
there
like
was- there's
dropped
reasons for that
yeah.
we're not gonna, it's a long
Yeah,
story.
but
we'll
he
get
talked
into,
about
but-
that
dropped
off-
me
off
as
air.
like I was like working on my abandonment issues, you know,
then he
he
abandoned
abandoned me.
By the
But
way,
actually,
I
probably the
do
He's
biggest
not-
a
help.
real shitty therapist.
knowing the real story, I do
Greg,
not
you
blame him
son
one
of a
bit.
bitch. If you're listening, I'm just kidding. All
I
right.
would have quit too,
All
knowing the real
right,
story.
all
Yeah.
right, all right. He's a fucking asshole. It's my. I host this show, and I say he's an asshole. He's an asshole.
This is your show.
Yeah, you listen here. All right, Casper, tell people where they can find you and what's coming up in your life.
Exactly
People
where you
can't
live.
find me.
Where do they find
can't
you?
find me.
Casper,
Where
tell people your
will you
address.
be?
You know, I do too many horrible, mean things on my Twitter and my Facebook and my Instagram that I've been losing followers, and I laugh about it. My girlfriend keeps telling me that I'm crazy because I'll say something like, people will go, "You were awesome in that," and I go, "I know," and then and people go, you did a really great job, and I go, "You have great taste," and that's all
That's all fun. There's nothing wrong with that.
but it's all I ever write.
That's good.
That's great.
Oh, he
I'm gonna
wanted to
follow
write
you right
one
now.
other thing.
Oh,
what
yeah,
did he
yeah.
want to write?
Oh,
Yeah.
because the writer of Tarzan passed away.
I'm the writer of my Tarzan,
right.
The
yeah.
Lost
That's right.
City. He
Yeah.
passes away.
Gator Johnson.
and I stopped him. He's on Twitter, and he has written Tarzan sad.
The day of. The day
And I
Thank you, Janice. Thank you.
cannot do this.
Tarzan sad.
That's all he wanted
She
to
said,
know.
"You've got to stop me. You've got to."
I
I
said
went
his
from.
daughter will read this. His mother. It's not a joke. Like someone is
Tarzan
dead.
sad.
He said, "Well,
was
Tarzan
sad.
I
sad."
can't think
Brilliant.
of a more fitting tribute.
It's
Thank you guys.
to the
God,
author of
that's
Tarzan
hilarious.
than Tarzan sad.
Thank you, but she wouldn't. She's like, "You can't do it. You've already lost." I went from 104,000
To
followers
80,000.
to 80,000. Now I'm at 79 because I keep losing them. I keep losing
Because
them
he keeps doing things like that.
I do things like that all the time. So
Oh.
you can find me at
God.
Casper Van Dien
Yeah.
on Twitter or Instagram, and you'll probably end up hating me.
Somebody
But
will
it's okay.
say,
You just
somebody will
gained
say,
one more follower, by the way. I just follow you right
Oh,
now.
thank you, thank you. Well,
somebody
I'll
will say,
probably-
"You're
this
so
show-
handsome," and he'll go, "You have great taste."
Or I know. Yeah,
I
or-
love it. I
Yeah,
love
fuck
it.
'em.
That's great. Come
Fuck 'em.
on.
Yeah.
Fucking come on here and
The
stroke
whole
me.
world, like, just let
It's
the
kind
world.
of the whole point of Twitter is to
yeah.
brag about shit.
Yeah,
Why
be a
not?
little
You know?
silly. You can be a jackass on Twitter. There's
And
nothing
I
wrong
am.
with that.
I'm not gonna be. I'm not being anything other than who I am in real life.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I don't know anyone who humbly opens a Twitter account.
I
You
know.
know you're doing it.
There's my selfie of me because I'm awesome. Fuck
right.
me.
Exactly.
I do.
Like here's a tweet somebody sent him saying Casper Van Dien is everywhere, literally everywhere at Conman series. I'm loving the show, and he replied back, "You have impeccable taste."
Yes, yes, I do.
That's great.
I tried to be
that's
nicer
wonderful.
because she's telling me that you have impeccable taste was better than you got great taste. That's all I was
Yeah.
writing. And she's like,
Yeah.
"You write the same thing." And I'm like, "They do too."
Yeah.
They tell me how great I am, and I go, "I already know that."
I get a lot of follow me, follow me,
I get.
follow
I
me
go,
tweets.
"Follow me.
Follow
You're
me."
following me. I'm not following you. I'm leading right
I
now."
was like, this is the relationship. The relationship has been established.
You motherfucker.
Please tweet that next.
You follow me, motherfucker. That is amazing. That is amazing. Do you have an Instagram? Do you have any of those things?
Yeah, same thing on Instagram. I piss everybody off with that one too. I'm at Casper Van Dien. I've lost even more there. It's
Oh,
unbelievable.
God.
Shit, you
Are
know,
you
it's
trying to show everyone your nudes there?
I tweeted all that ridiculous thing. I retweeted it, and I thought it was weird. And everybody was like, "You're just doing this." And then most people were like, "Oh my god, oh my god." And I think I lost a lot of people because I didn't comment like she said. You know,
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck 'em.
I was like, "Yeah, that's what I said." She goes, "You keep losing fans. You
Well,
know, the idea is supposed to build it."
This
Not lose
lady
it.
who he had worked with before, a script
hysterical.
supervisor who like really loves him, like retweeted it and said, "I'm so proud of him. No one deserves this more." And he liked it.
I did.
I
I did.
love
I
it.
did.
You should like it.
Oh
That's
my
great.
God.
That's
Supportive.
I'm like, tell her.
wonderful. No, that's so great. Jen, where can they find you?
See, I'm confusing. I'm at Jenny Winger on Twitter. I'm Jennifer Winger on Facebook, and I'm at Jenny Lou Wonder like Wonder Woman on Instagram.
And if you follow me, you'll find her, and then you can
Yeah.
fuck off on me as soon as you want and just follow her because she's gorgeous and she's nice.
Super cool. Are you guys going to both be at San Diego Comic-Con? Are you gonna
Yeah.
go?
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping that Mortal Kombat Legacy Season 3 is going to be there, and then I'm going to dress up as Johnny Cage.
Oh,
And
awesome.
If they
Nice.
take me there, they don't even know that I'm going to announce that. I just did though, so they can fuck off as well. And I love them. I do too many things. Like I did that on a show once. I was on a show and they were like telling me that it's Titans, and they were telling me you have to, we want you to promote this show. You want to do this, and like you go on there, and I go, I get into there, and they're like, well, what do you think of the show and the writing and everything? I go, well, it ain't Shakespeare. It's like eye candy. And I got in so much trouble there, and Spelling brought me in, and the producers all brought me in. And then that's all the tagline they used afterwards. But they got so mad. They're like, don't put the show down. I'm like, what? You fucking have me coming out of water, shaking my head like I'm a girl, like doing the sexy thing out of the water.
Yeah, you're eye candy.
Eye candy. I know exactly what I am. Call what it is. If I'm gonna walk and quack like a duck, then I'm gonna call myself a fucking duck.
You're the coolest.
And I ain't that cool, man.
You should do.
No, I made the same
I'm
complaint.
really not that cool.
That's really cool. If you
Steven
know
uses me the same way. I'm the eye candy on
Yeah,
this show.
he uses
He
you
really
like the
is.
horse. He uses you like I know what he uses you like. He got that shoulder of yours over there.
I've had tennis elbow for 3 years.
I also did when I did Mortal Kombat. The director they called me in to do Mortal Kombat Legacy.
Yeah.
And they go, hey, we want you to be Johnny Cage. And I walk up to the director and I go, what are you fucking trying to say? And he goes, oh, this is great. And I go, what are you trying to say? D-list actor can't get a job? And he goes, you are so perfect for this. And I'm like,
Shit.
you motherfucker. And that's all I did for the whole time. I never broke character once the whole time. Set
Wow.
or on any interview. And all I did was because I'm like, but seriously, they hired me to be Johnny Cage. A D-list actor who can't get a fucking job.
I love it. It's perfect.
Yeah, thanks.
No, it's
It really is
no,
great.
you really fuck
Johnny
you
Cage.
too.
No, Johnny Cage.
And I won a best actor for that too. I win a best actor for being a D-list actor who can't get a fucking job.
Oh my god, that's hysterical.
It's the only best actor. No, that's not true. I got one other best actor, but that was for a movie called Grit, and that was in France. One of them French froggy people.
The French love cinema. They know what they're talking about.
Yeah, they
It's a-
do. They
it's
love
a good
Jerry
award to
Lewis.
get.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
All right,
is
there we
Jerry
go.
Lewis.
I love Jerry Lewis. He's one of my favorite. Lady with the hair.
That's a pretty solid Jerry Lewis impression.
Oh,
he
dude.
does impressions all the time.
I
Who
do.
else do you do? Who else do you do?
Jim Carrey.
Yeah, I can do Jim Carrey. Yeah.
He did that at dinner with Jim Carrey, and
Yeah.
Jim Carrey did not like it. He did not get invited back.
Yeah, everything we were doing, he was like, he really talks like that, and he does everything. And he's like, well, I just wanted to say that we're all gonna go over it this way, and then he would do something. And then afterwards, we're doing a meditation, and I look over there, and at the time, my ex-wife kicked me because all of a sudden I was gonna do the alrighty then. I was totally gonna do it because
Yeah.
we're meditating, and I'm looking over it, and I'm like, I'm never gonna get a chance to do this. And she just hauled off and kicked me in the shin so fucking hard in the middle of the meditation. But I did him. And
Wait a second. I'm sorry. We just have to hang on. You have to hang on for a second. In the middle of the meditation?
I was gonna do it, and I got kicked.
So
yeah.
what does that mean in the middle of the meditation? You were having dinner with Jim Carrey.
And there was some guy from India there, and then they were doing some kind of meditation thing afterwards. I don't fucking know,
It's all
dude.
very
I'm from
weird.
Jersey, okay?
He's done a lot
I'm
of
from
weird
Jersey.
things.
It's Hollywood.
It's Hollywood.
It's
Weird things happen.
Hollywood.
Yeah, sometimes you end up meditating with Jim Carrey. I totally get it. I
Dude,
get it.
I have meditated with Jim Carrey, and I wasn't invited back.
Oh, that's so great.
I loved it.
I love it.
When
So-
I listen, and then I do Christopher Lloyd. I do a lot of different things. If I get around somebody for enough, and I'm around them, and I watch them, because I like to study people,
yeah,
then I can try to do them and become them.
that's so great.
Not like a horse.
Right.
No.
Not
Yeah,
like
no.
not like how you.
Not
do
in the
it.
armpit.
Not in the armpit. Not again.
Well, that might be fun.
It was like a one-time
Now
thing.
you got me thinking. The armpit, huh? Something new.
Look out, Jenny.
It's going to be a rough
He's been in
Valentine's Day.
Hollywood too long. Don't give him new ideas.
Yes.
Oh, God. That's amazing. Oh, my God, man.
You would think the three of us would be the weirdest people on this show.
Yeah, but
You know,
really.
no.
Nope. Not tonight.
I go
He
to con.
surprises everybody. Like they
Okay, yeah.
think because he looks so nice, that he looks so handsome, that he's gonna just be like a really nice gentleman, and then he's this asshole from Jersey who's so nasty.
I go to cons, and then people there was a guy once at a con. I was doing a press junket, so I was with the studio, so I was on my best fucking behavior, whatever, fucking off. And this guy's in a toilet seat, wrapped around his head with all his writing on it and things on it, and he's like looks at me and he's talking to me in the thing, and I'm like talking to him, and he goes, you're a bigger geek than me. And I go, you got a fucking toilet seat around your head. You can't say that to anybody. He goes, no, I think I can.
Touche, toilet head.
I was like, I fucking got reamed by a guy who wants to be shot in his face.
Oh
Like,
my
oh
god!
yeah, it's just so wrong.
You go to You go to a lot of cons, right? Do you go to a lot
Dude,
of cons?
I went for Starship Troopers was my first time at San Diego Comic-Con. That's 1997.
Oh my god!
must
Then
have
I was
had a
then
blast.
I did have a blast. I was the only actor to go from the whole show, but the director went and the writer went, and we had so much fun. Then for I went for Tarzan the next year, 1998. Then I went for the Starship Troopers, and Tim Burton and Johnny Depp were gonna go, but then they couldn't go.
For
It was-
Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah, because it was before it was so cool.
Right.
But when they asked me to go, they're like, "There's this thing in San Diego, a Comic-Con." I'm like, "I want to go." And they're like, "No, we're gonna know if you want to go." And I'm like, "I totally want to go." And I was like, yeah, because none of the actors
You don't
really want to
have
go
to
yet.
go.
But you know, you don't really. It's not gonna be. It's not like you're not really need to. This is kind of a nerdy kind of thing to do. I'm like, I'm so there.
Wow.
And he's so fun at cons. We just went and did one in the Philippines. He was headlining in the Philippines at this con, and his handler is so used to the actors who come, they're reserved, and they do the signing, and they take the photo ops. But, like, there was, like, a couple times when the music would be playing, he's like, "Oh, I'm out of here." And he would jump over the booth, storm the stage, take the mic. He would sing. He would
Oh
dance.
my god!
He
Amazing.
would jump up and help host the costume contest. Like, he's so interactive and
Oh, that's
fun.
what I wanted to ask. Now with like all the cosplay stuff, now that that's so prevalent, have you ever been tempted to go in like the Starship Troopers costume and see if people are like, "Is that Casper Van Dien?" Or is it not?
I've not done that yet. I'm tempted to do Johnny Cage for this San Diego.
That would be
that.
cool.
That would be kind of cool to do. I've not done the Starship Troopers one. I mean, the coolest thing I have is when I did Starship Troopers 3 and I showed back up on set in the uniform and everybody went,
Oh.
and I was like, "It's okay." And they're like, "Oh my god,
It's him.
it's
It's
you,
really him.
it's you. Oh, you look the same. You haven't. It's oh my god." And everybody. I mean, everybody. And I'm like looking around, going, "This is really fucking weird." And it was just
Wow.
great. And then you just go about your thing, you do it. But the whole time I was in the uniform, nobody treated me any way like they treat me normal. They just treated me like I was like I don't know, something iconic or something.
That's
So
very
that was
cool.
surreal.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Wow.
that was and I get a little bit of that with Johnny Cage when I do that. When I go to a con, when I promoted it the first time, everybody was laughing. They had a great time.
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat, get over here!
That was the coolest. That's amazing, man.
But
I'm s-
speaking of cosplay, I got his daughter into cosplay now, and we go and we cosplay as Wonder Woman and Supergirl at cons
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
together.
Oh, I've
now.
seen those pictures.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they do that.
She looks great as Supergirl
She's
too.
amazing.
Yeah,
as
she's so cool.
Supergirl.
She's working all the time. My
Yeah.
daughter's she was born during Starship Troopers.
Oh wow.
Whoa.
So I'm in the tank during Starship Troopers, getting fixed my leg, and they let me out the next day for her to be born. So I felt like we were in utero at the same time for a little bit. And then the next day I'm back in the tank, and in walks Harrison Ford because we're on Sony. He walks in because Vic Armstrong was directing it that day, and I'm like in the water going because I can see, I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Ford's here!" I was like so thrilled. Just cool.
Did you get to talk to him?
No, not really. I was in the tank,
Oh,
but I got
That's
to see him.
amazing.
that's
Oh,
still
I'm
very
trying to
cool.
count-
That's huge.
One of the coolest moments of my career. I mean, there's been so many different things that I've loved, but I one day I was in Sony at Sony, and my trailer was on one corner of one of the studios. Tom Cruise's was on the other. No, not Tom Cruise's. Excuse me. Mine was. Harrison Ford's was across it. Jack Nicholson's was there, and Michael Douglas was there.
Wow.
And Tom Cruise drove in on the lot on his motorcycle and was allowed to drive down the thing on his motorcycle because he's Tom fucking
Yeah.
Cruise. He
Right.
can do whatever the hell
Who's
he
gonna say no
wants.
to him?
Yeah.
Nobody else is allowed to do that, but he can do it because he's Tom Cruise. And I was looking at this, and all of them were number one on their call sheet, and I was number one on my call sheet, and I was like, this is unbelievable. Thank you, God. Thank you,
Wow.
higher power,
Yeah.
whatever it is. This is the most amazing day for me. I mean, it was just so cool.
From military school to that. I
Yeah.
mean, that's what a life, man.
Totally different.
Amazing.
My family didn't grow up that way. School teachers for parents, very polite, very respectful. My mom's a interfaith minister, but before that, she was a nurse. Was a nurse, and my family, we were always like the poorest family in the town. But my dad worked 3 jobs just to provide for us, and it was all about education, and so they took a lot of pride in that. All my family, mostly teachers and military. That's it, and they do both jobs because you have to. You can't really survive on one of them, or they couldn't with what they wanted to afford us. And so I had a remarkable upbringing, and I had a remarkable family, and just still together. It's still amazing, and I love my sisters, and I just feel very fortunate for all that, and that has also afforded me to be the asshole that I am today, and get away with whatever the fuck I want to.
There it is.
Love it. There we go.
He got sweet for a minute.
I got one question.
I got one
wanna
answer.
ask you.
This is
All right,
perfect.
well,
I mean, this is the way it works.
we try to ask all of our guests this question because it's one of my favorite things to ask. But when you started,
No.
Yes, when you started making money more than you needed for what was happening in your life, what is the thing that you bought that was like something you always wanted, or something that was like something?
How did you treat yourself?
Like, how did you treat yourself? Is there something that you've bought for yourself that's like, oh my God, I can't believe I own this. It sits in a glass case in my living room. Anything like that?
Hey, well, for me, I'm not too materialistic about too many things. I mean, if somebody, I'm just not too much. But the biggest thing that I got was that I was able to, to give some money to my family and to do some things like that, and then to tithe. And every country I went, I would tithe 10% of whatever I made to a local charity and do whatever I could do that.
That's amazing.
It was the best thing I could do, because I never could do that before.
Yeah.
So that was the most incredible thing I could do on a spiritual level like that, or anything that makes you feel, like you can actually give back, and not to just like a church or something like that, but to actually an organization like Lepers in India, or different things like, where you could go and actually give money to people and see where it was going, to a colony where they're actually doing the help and the work, where they're feeding them, and go in and feed too and do that. So I've done that. I've gone and done that thing, because you have to do that. You have to when you get in. Otherwise, you get too caught up in yourself.
Completely.
So I see that. But you can't get all caught up in that, because if you do that, then you're not. I don't know. Some people can, and that's great, and God bless them. They're saints. I'm not that person. Like I said, I'm an asshole. So I like to be that, and I like to do. I like fame. I like working. I like being in movies. I like being different characters. But the thing I probably bought for myself that I liked the most is I lease a Mercedes.
Yeah.
And that's
very
now.
nice.
But I didn't do that at first. I just did that later. Now I and it's a hybrid, and it's electric, so I do that. But
cool.
it is conscious, and it's my one thing that I think
And your koi fish.
I have koi fish.
Yeah,
So
koi fish are super
Lots
cool.
of koi
So,
fish.
Steven, don't you feel like an asshole after asking that question now?
No, I don't.
With
because,
your
look,
action figure collection?
whatever.
Hey, when I booked my first commercial, I made it a point to support every local Hooters that I went to. Every single one. Those girls, a lot of them are going to college now.
Yeah, they are. Well, no, but I do. I have koi fish, and I have a koi pond, and I have bonsai trees. So I that's my main thing that I do, and that's a place where I read.
That's super cool, man.
That is pretty
that's
cool.
a huge deal.
They're
Being able-
amazing.
the koi fish are incredible, and they're beautiful, and being able to like
They
have
taste
that.
delicious.
And, oh God,
They're
What's
carp.
the
You
matter
can't
with you?
like carp.
Oh,
They're
God.
colored carp.
No, that's when we had DJ Paul on from 3-6 Mafia, and we asked him what his something that he bought that he treasured, and his greatest treasure was Tomax and Zaymot from G.I. Joe
Yeah, Joe.
that he always wanted when he was a kid.
Those
Oh
are
my
the
God,
twin-
look at those fish.
Crazy.
Whoa, these things are gorgeous.
Yeah, I'm a koi master.
Wow.
I'm really good at them.
You got to check out his Instagram, because it's beautiful pictures.
What
of
are their
these- of
names?
these kois.
The kids have all named them different names. There's one though. There's one that's called Silver Surfer. And,
Nice.
And yeah, so they have some cool names, and there's Angel, and they have different names for them. One was Squiggly, one was Moon, one was Sun. Those were original.
Well, I thought they were going for a Marvel theme at first, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
Squiggly threw me off.
Yeah.
Yeah, Squiggly had scoliosis.
Old fashioned,
okay.
squiggly.
And then,
and more followers have been lost.
And one of them I called Quasi, because he was Quasi. He was a little bit like that. Because Quasi had scoliosis too. So I thought, hey, fish looks funny.
Oh my
But
God!
at least I didn't kill it. Hey, listen, I'm equally offensive to everybody. I pretty much hate everybody. I don't care what race, religion, I don't care what faith, sex. I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck what anybody is. I hate
I know,
them
but
all.
you're such a good guy. We loved having you on the show. You're so awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Matt, where can they find you on the interweb?
Just go to funnymat.com if you like what I did, or if not, let me know at mattwalkersucks.com.
Yep. Please do that and go
Wow,
to.
that's great.
It's a great
That's a real thing.
website, and it's
Yeah.
just a list of all the meanest things people have ever said to him, which
Yeah.
is wonderful.
Dude, you and I are gonna get
Like
along
when-
great.
like when
I'm
you
gonna have
lose
to follow you
followers-
back.
When they write bad
You guys
stuff
are
about
like-
you, archive it on a website. I could.
Yeah.
Nah,
You
nah,
should.
I don't even block them. I just
No, I don't block them. I take whatever nasty things they say and I take a copy of it and I put it on that website because it entertains me.
It's really
That's
fun.
fantastic.
Yeah.
You guys are like
I don't
kindred
even read
spirits.
theirs. I don't even read them. So if they say something bad, I'm like, fuck off.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. One time I posted a YouTube video and someone wrote back, you suck. You're not funny. And I was like, you know who sucks? Your mom last night when she blew me because I'm dating your mom. And the person wrote back, I'm 7.
Wow.
And I was like, oh shit, I better stop writing people
Yeah.
writing people on comments and things. It's not a good move.
No, it's great. It's great. You got to say stuff like that to people, and
Yeah.
but you got to, it is
Yeah.
weird when they're like, "I'm 7." That one
Well,
kind of blew you.
Kind of
'Cause it's
blows up in your face.
Well,
Yeah.
but if he had the presence of mind to know that it was inappropriate,
right.
that- he's probably not 7. First of all,
Nah, he's
like
probably
40 or some shit.
But you should
47.
You should have said
Yeah.
if you're
If you're
7.
7, what the hell are you doing on?
No,
Yeah.
no, you should have just turned and said to him, "Well, if your mom had change for $1, I would have been your father." Yeah, you know, you fucking go back and let the kid have their truth. You know,
That's
you
right.
go.
Double down on it instead.
There we go.
Fuck him, little
More,
7-year-olds.
more like Casper. I like this. This is great. Mike, where can people find you?
At Mike Black Attack on all social media.
I love it. You guys can get me at Stephen Glickman, STEPHEN Glickman on all social media, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter, of course. And this is the Nighttime Show, #Nighttime Show. Don't forget to subscribe to the show and leave comments of what you thought of our of this episode and all the horrifying and terrifying, the horrible things that we-
WHOR.
All those 7-year-olds.
Oh God, there's been so many things
The 7-year-olds are
revealed.
having a horrible time.
This is a living nightmare. Thanks, guys. Always check the Improv website here in Hollywood for the Nighttime Show Live, which is a Saturday 10 p.m. show once a month at the Hollywood Improv. Thanks again for listening to the Nighttime Show. I love you. I'm Stephen Kramer Glickman. Peace, bitches.